It is the best-selling toy in human history. More than 400 billion bricks exist today, by some estimates. And it was invented by a carpenter who nearly lost everything, not once, but twice. Billund is a village of barely 1,000 people in the flat, windswept center of Denmark. The Great Depression has arrived, and almost no one here has money to spare. Ole Kirk Christiansen runs a carpentry workshop here. His customers are local farmers, and the Depression has wiped them out. Orders for furniture and houses have stopped. The debts are piling up. Ole's wife, Christine, died in 1932, leaving him alone with 4 young sons. He cannot close the workshop. He has no other way to support his family. Rather than close, Ole starts making small objects from leftover timber. Stepladders, ironing boards, and simple toys. A wooden duck on wheels, a truck, a pull-along animal. The wooden toys outsell everything else. Children are indifferent to the Depression. Ole notices and narrows his focus. This will be a toy company. In 1934, Ole names the company Lego from the Danish leg godt, meaning play well. He later discovers that in Latin, Lego can also mean to gather or collect. It feels like a sign. Through the late 1930s, Lego produces nearly 200 wooden toy designs, animals, vehicles, building blocks. They win recognition at a Danish trade fair, and word begins to spread. In 1942, the workshop burns to the ground. Ole loses nearly everything he has built. He rebuilds from the ash. The stubbornness that almost destroyed him keeps him going. After the Second World War, injection-molded plastic begins reaching European manufacturers. Ole's son Gottfried sees a demonstration and convinces his skeptical father to buy a molding machine. A detail Lego rarely highlights. British inventor Hilary Fisher Page had already patented a self-locking plastic brick for his Kiddicraft company by 1939. Ole had seen it and was inspired. In 1949, Lego releases its first plastic brick, hollow underneath, with studs on top. They call it the automatic binding brick. It clicks together, mostly. Danish toy stores return large quantities of the bricks unsold. A major distributor tells Ole the future of toys is not plastic. Ole keeps the machines running anyway. Ole's third son, Godfred Kirk Christiansen, becomes consumed by one idea. The bricks must form a system. Every piece must connect to every other piece, forever, across every set. The early brick had a flaw. It held, but not firmly. A child's rough hands could scatter a whole structure. The grip existed, but the satisfaction did not. From roughly 1954 to 1958, Gottfried runs test after test. He is chasing what Lego would later call clutch power, firm enough to hold, easy enough to release. The solution is elegant. Gottfried adds hollow tubes to the inside of the brick's underside. The studs of one brick lock into those tubes. The click becomes exactly right. On the 28th of January, 1958, Lego files the patent for the stud-end tube brick design. That date is now considered the official birthday of the Lego brick. Ole Kirk Christiansen dies on the 11th of March, 1958, just weeks after the patent is filed. He never sees the full scale of what he started. Gottfried makes a decisive move. He cancels the wooden toy line entirely and commits Lego fully to the plastic brick. There is no fallback. Everything rides on the system. Gottfried doesn't sell retailers a toy. He sells a concept. Every brick fits every other brick, across every set, every year. Buy in once, and it works with whatever comes next. Through the early 1960s, Lego spreads across Europe, Denmark, then Germany, then Britain. Sets multiply. Towns, farms, trains. Parents notice their children never seem to tire of them. In 1961, Lego licenses its North American distribution to Samsonite, yes, the luggage company. It is an unlikely arrangement, but it puts Lego on shelves across the United States. Each Lego brick is manufactured to a tolerance of 0.02 of a millimeter, a fraction of a human hair. That is what makes a brick from any era fit any other. Lego bricks are made from ABS, acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, a hard, resilient thermoplastic. The formula has been refined over decades for color stability, structural strength, and that distinctive clicking sound. The Lego factory in Billund runs around the clock. By some estimates, it produces millions of individual elements every single day. The machines have barely paused in 60 years. In 1978, Lego introduces the minifigure, a small yellow figure with articulated limbs and a painted smile. It gives children someone to live inside the worlds they build. Through the 1980s, Lego launches themed lines: Space, Castle, City, Technic, Pirates. Each line is an invitation into a story. Children buy in, expand, and come back year after year. A brick produced in 1958 clicks into a brick made today. The tolerances have been held that consistent across 6 decades, across factories on multiple continents. In 1999, Lego signs a licensing deal with Lucasfilm. Star Wars sets arrive in stores. Lego stops being just a toy company and becomes a platform for storytelling. By 2003, Lego is losing money at a terrifying rate. It has sprawled into theme parks, clothing, television, and video games. It has lost the thread. Bankruptcy is close. In 2004, a 35-year-old consultant named Jorgen Vig Knudstorp becomes CEO. He inherits a company in crisis. His plan is almost embarrassingly simple: get back to the brick. Within 3 years, Lego is profitable again. Within 10, it is the largest toy company in the world by revenue. The turnaround is now taught in business schools worldwide. A community of adult enthusiasts, called AFOLs, or adult fans of Lego, turns out to be a genuine asset. They design, compete, and document. Lego begins listening to them seriously. Lego launches the Ideas platform, where fans submit set designs and the community votes. Designs reaching 10,000 votes are considered for production. Several have become real sets, sold worldwide. Today, Lego releases more than 400 new sets annually: architecture, space missions, film franchises, art. The system of play keeps expanding, just as Gottfried imagined it would. The most iconic Lego element is the humble 2x4, 8 studs, 1 rectangle. It has been displayed in design museums and sent to space. It is a masterpiece of industrial design. The largest consumer Lego set ever produced is a replica of the Eiffel Tower, containing 11,695 pieces. Assembled, it stands over a meter tall. By widely cited estimates, approximately 80 Lego bricks exist today for every person currently alive on Earth. That number grows every year. The factories do not slow down. The tiny village where Ole had his workshop now has an international airport. Legoland Billund opened in 1968 and draws more than 2 million visitors every year. Researchers who study children playing with Lego find something consistent. They plan, they fail, they dismantle and rebuild. They are doing, in miniature, exactly what engineers do at full scale. The Lego Group remains privately held by the Christiansen family. The man who carved wooden ducks in a struggling Billund workshop is still the foundation of everything here. Ole Kirk Christiansen did not set out to change play. He was a carpenter in debt, trying to keep a workshop open and feed 4 sons through the worst economic crisis of the century. The line from a carved wooden duck in a Billund workshop to a system sold in over 140 countries took 2 fires, 2 near bankruptcies, and 6 decades of refusing to stop. Lego, Play well. Ole chose those Danish words in 1934 without knowing how perfectly they would describe what his brick would make billions of children do across 8 decades. This is Origins. Subscribe and come back tomorrow. There's a new origin every single morning.